Well guys, welcome back to the shop. Today I'm going to take a break from the Mustang GT 350. But I'm going to walk away from that for a little bit. Put a little time into the Moto RV, our mobile meth lab. We're going to get this thing fired up, pulled into the shop. I'm going to pull the trans and get the new transmission placed into the truck so that we can get our new drive shaft measured. Then the next time I pull it in, we're going to be putting the engine in it. Engine is looking like a great candidate. I'm just going to put it back together with gasket seals and some accessory drive parts, new timing chain, which the old timing chain actually looked fine. I'll put a new timing chain on it, and it seems to be just as loose as the one I took off. I had not replaced one of those single roller factory chains previously. And now I know why, because they apparently don't wear out, which is good. I mean, I'm sure they wear out if you don't change your oil, but that's all right. So new cover, new front cover, new oil pan, new timing chain, all new gaskets and seals, and a brand new single plane intake manifold from Jegs. That's gonna allow us to use a throttle body fuel injection system with, I believe I'm going to use an HEI distributor. So it should be very, very basic, very simple, and very easy to maintain, and it should keep us running for miles and miles to get lots of smiles. Let's get this thing inside, get it fired up, pull it in, get it on the rack, and we'll get the tranny yanked out of here. Now this has a Turbo 400 in it. And when you're looking for Turbo 400s, these are the ones you want, because these are the heavy-duty TH400s from the big heavy trucks. And actually the big heavy Cadillacs are probably a good candidate, but those are always long tails. But whatever. These have they've got more clutches, they've got beefier drums, they've just got heavier duty parts. So they're great for building for race cars. There's a bee out already. I must have woke him up. Must have a nest in there somewhere. That's going to be fun to find out. Alright. Not too horrible looking under here. Kind of gross. Pulled in under its own power. We've got some surface rust on her, but not horrible. And that's a frame extension. This would be the end of the original van that this thing was built on. Not sure we're going to trust that hitch with very much weight. May have to do something different there. Bumpers will get changed out. These vans are a unibody, which is kind of unique to these vans. Although the two generations before it were also unibody. And then they were all frame, full frame, ladder frame after that. Oh, I'll get out front of there. It's almost high enough for me to be able to stand up straight under it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pull the drive shaft, pull the transmission cross member, bell bolts, flywheel bolts, and trans will be on the floor. So I'm going to get that done real quick. I have a 4L80E to fit up to it, and we want to measure our drive shaft length, and then I'll make my trans cooler lines, because the cooler lines will be different, and I'm going to put just a standalone auxiliary cooler up in the nose of this, as well as an oil cooler up in the nose of this, separated from the radiator. That way the radiator, if there's a problem with it, it's just a radiator. Pull it out, pull it in. You don't have to worry about what cooler fitment. It's just a straight in and out. Drain the coolant, drop 2-3 hoses, because it's got a heater hose on it. Put it back together, and then you're back on the track. So trying to keep the maintenance on this thing simple. I don't know, maybe hopefully we'll get 2 or 3 years out of it. This season alone, it should see 20,000 miles. So we want to make sure that it's reliable, because it's going to be all over the place, which is awesome. IHRA Pro Watercross series is, you can look that up and you'll see all the dates and places that the races will be. So all over North and South. It's gonna be a good time. Anyway, let me get this trans yanked and we'll get moving on with this project. Timing chain feels pretty good. It's not really got any stretch in the chain, which leads me to believe that this engine's been rebuilt. I just don't know what's in it, so I've never been able to get it running right. So I don't know if it's got a wiped cam or if the distributor's no good. So I don't know. I'm thinking just change the engine. And I can go through it, know what's in it, and then we can use this engine in another project as we move forward. I'm going to go ahead and pull my bell bolts. I already have my drive shaft bolts loose. My carrier joint, carrier bearing bolts are out. My transmission cross members are out. My transmission to transmission mount are out. So next thing is torque converter bolts, cooler lines, vacuum line, shifter, speedometer cable, and then bell bolts, and she'll be out. These are probably one of the easiest transmissions to remove in a vehicle that I've ever seen. And it's got brand new ball joints in it too. I knew this thing had a small fortune in work done to it, which is why I figured $800 buy-in into it wasn't going to be too bad. I wasn't originally planning on changing the engine and transmission out, but with what we've decided to do with this van, it makes sense. Well, this thing appears to have a light-duty flywheel in it. Normally these trucks have, these 3/4 tons have 6 bolts in the flywheel. This one only had 3. And the flywheel holes are not drilled in alignment with the torque converter, so more than likely it's a light-duty flywheel. These flywheels have oblong holes, and it might have been run with loose nuts at one point, because that seems to be more than what it normally is. Usually these have one hole that is narrow, and then the other 2 are wide, and when you're putting your transmission together, you always put your first bolt in the narrow hole, and then all the others will align up. It's a little trick that probably, I don't know, maybe people don't know about that anymore. It was something that I learned way back from one of my friend technicians, Steve Smith, and he's like, yeah, just put the one bolt in and then they'll all fit. You just tighten the first one up right away and then roll it around and you're done. That's good to know. So pass that on, I guess. Oil was changed on 7/24/24, so that's probably when I bought this thing. So it sat for a whole year with me not doing anything to it, which isn't uncommon for project cars. I was missing both lower bell bolts when I started this process.
Well, we know somebody's been using it before.
The engine's definitely been out.
Oh, they got one bolt tight. How many do you need?
Ouch, that hurt. Got both fingers on that one.
Get my hands greasy since so it looks like I actually worked on something. Ow!
Watch your head. Those really hurt. I was gonna say you gotta be. So that's why everybody hates working on RVs. It's because of stuff like this that you lose skin and hair to.
Oh,
Because these things are sharp as a freaking razor blade, man.
yeah, there's a hair right there.
Gross.
Ah,
I bet this will leak all over the floor when I get it out. Wow, that's actually got the newer style seal on it. That's nice. Oh man, that one got both of us within like 2 minutes.
ow! I'm normally short enough I could walk around it or anything just about no problem.
Well, this one's extra high, so it's
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 more inches up would have been nice. You get what.
Fancy new starter?
You can see like this one's small,
Yeah.
and then these two are big, but they're at a smaller circumference. All right.
Going straight back?
Yeah,
Or where
probably.
do you wanna Is that our transit's going in?
No, that's for the Ford. Let's go back here with it, and then we'll just set it on the floor, and I'll put this on the rack because I'm gonna ultimately want to go through this one.
And not hit my head on?
Yeah, try not to hit your head on anything. Little plastic washer in here that always gets lost. Yeah, you've sprung a leak.
Damn it.
I friggin' hate these things, man.
Well,
I hate them with passion.
lock those suckers off.
Yeah, I might round those out a little bit, or put some wrap them in bubble wrap so that I don't get hurt under this thing.
Years and years and years ago, you remember that little lower Datsun pickup
Hey,
truck?
this had a stick shift in it. This engine had a stick shift behind it.
I destroyed a set of Oakley sunglasses with something almost exactly like that. I had them on top of my head on that lower Datsun.
So the
Walking right through, cut my lenses instead of my head.
better the lenses than your head, I guess.
And they were a $500 pair of sunglasses, so I don't know about that.
That's painful.
All right, so that other trans already have all the bits or the converter and everything with it. So just
And it's a heavy duty 4-wheel drive transmission with torque converter and transfer case.
probably not going to manhandle that one quite as easily.
Well, it's in pieces. So the torque converter's or the transfer case is in the back, and the transmission's in the bin. So let's go grab the trans and get it in here.
Perfect.
Because if I get the trans in, great, and I can bring the case around and get it in. And then I'll measure. It's probably going to be a foot or more or less. And we may not.
Do you need a 2-piece drive shaft?
We may not even need it. No.
Let's say you're not really
So
good.
it's not long enough that I think it will be an issue. So we may go to a single. But then there's the question is, do I make my altitude adjustment?
Yeah, that's true.
Because when I adjust altitude, it might need to be longer.
Yeah,
Whereas if I have a slip joint in the middle, I can probably get away.
that's true.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it offers when we get it there. Alright, well, got our 4L80E, which is an overdrive 4-speed. Which is good. Let's get this thing fit up in here. Put the bell bolts on and figure out our transmission cross member. Ouch. Oh, don't hit the ground with an earth-shattering kaboom. Lordy, that's heavy. That is a massive transfer case. Coming right along. Alright guys, well I think that's going to be a wrap for this for tonight. I had originally thought about using a plasma cutter to open up this cross member. I'm really glad I didn't. The reason I didn't is exactly the reason I thought I shouldn't probably do that. Because I thought I was going to probably catch the thing on fire. Because as soon as I got into this cross member, hey look, it's a mouse nest. And you can see I even singed that with the grinding wheel. So imagine what a plasma cutter would have done. But I've got clearance for my transmission and my transfer case. I'm going to weld a piece of metal in there and weld a piece of metal in there for support. Clean it up, and then our transmission should be ready for final fitment. This allows me to order my drive shaft. I have to get a custom drive shaft built for this because I am putting a transfer case in it for low range and also future possible upgrades. Coming along, got a lot to do. The engine's almost ready. I'll let you take a look at it. Alright, Vortec head, factory manifolds, serpentine drive system, new water pump, a couple new pulleys, jegs single plane intake manifold, all new gaskets and seals, new rear main seal, new oil pan with extra quart capacity, and yeah, that'll work. I got to get a 90-degree fitting to come out of here, go into this guy. This guy goes to heater hose, and one of these guys will go to heater hose. So, plug those two guys off, and I think we're ready to roll. So, get that engine stabbed into this van here. I'm just going to drop the whole subframe out of it and switch everything out and then put it all back together. Still got some parts to clean and waiting on some parts to show up, but I should at least be able to have the engine, transmission, drive shaft, and the fuel injection system installed into this thing here hopefully in the next week. The biggest thing we'll be waiting on there will be the drive shaft. So custom drive shaft, we're going to tag in the guys at Drive Line 1 again for our drive shaft support and go from there. This is going to be a single drive shaft with a telescoping joint in it because I don't have any room to put a carrier bearing. So pretty good progress coming along. I got some exhaust to do. There's just a lot to do. It's like a ghost story. It never ends. You guys stay safe out there. We'll see you soon. Have a great day. Get out in your garage and get it done. It won't do it for you.